and now they're convinced they bought it.
Right.
And that's what we're not doing. We're just not telling a story. We're not building a narrative or a picture.
Right. It's like you said. It's not just about the career path. It's the culture of the dealership. They want to come home and say, hey, I met this guy. He's going to be my immediate boss. And hey, here's the owner. He's a really cool guy. Here's what he does within the community. It's telling the story and making people want to work there instead of just assuming they're going to want to work there.
You know, I went in probably the late 90s, I went to go work for the Penske Auto Group in Southern California. And there's
those little guys.
Yeah, that's a tiny group there. Well, there's one of the sons was running most of the stores in Southern California. Is Greg Penske, and talk about a guy that catches you, and that's the guy you model after. Not only because they're successful, but the way this guy worked. Absolutely, he was one of those guys I idolized and looked up to because of the way he treated people. So this guy, again, the family's kind of known for it as well, but extremely brilliant. Just one of those guys that's photographic memory, could just do things, just amazing stuff. So at the time, I think they had about 10 stores, and once a month, he would go drive to each of the stores, and we would do these manager meetings. And this guy would come in, and I would sit there and remember my used car stuff and what I've got going, what my wholesale profit or loss, and all these different things. And there was probably 7 or 8 of us in this meeting, and he would show up to each store. Ours generally was probably one of the last that he would come to on his trip. On his trip. And so when he would sit down with us, he would be able, from his head, to be able to go through each guy's different numbers. And we're trying to remember them ourselves, but he'd already gone to 9 others or 10 others, and he was just that guy. But what he did that impressed me more than anybody I've ever seen is a porter that maybe just started a week ago. So he would go, after we were done with our meetings, he did it every single time. He would walk outside with us, and he would go to the technicians. He'd go to the porters. He'd walk around and greet people. That's right. And he had thousands of employees, but all of us had these little ID cards that we used to scan into different things, and we all had to wear it on these little lanyards and stuff, or the little clippers. I think what he did is he would memorize everybody's name and their picture. So he would walk out, and he would walk up to a guy and, hey, like the brand new porter, John, glad to see you. Thank you for working for us. You know, how are things going for you? And this young porter that's sitting there is going, how the hell does this owner of this big business know me? And he just took the time to come and say hello to me. Right. That impressed me more than all of the memorization, the numbers, that he would take the time, and he did it every damn time.
Well, that wraps up our 2-parter with the AutoMax team. I hope you learned lots. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and comment and all that great stuff. And be sure to follow Jason to get all those tasty podcast details when they come out fresh.